I can make it there. I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York.
How we doing, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live and YouTube. Here with me, my guy, my co-host, my brother from another mother, Mr. Idris Salam, a.k.a. Bosco, from the Bronx, with the Iowa Caitlin Clark. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Always.
That's my girl, man. I love Asia Wilson, but I like Big Boss, Leah Boston, but
you know what else you like doing, man? You like ruffling feathers.
It's just about Caitlin Clark, man.
You like pissing people off, man. On today's show, we're going to be hitting on the AFC South, a division that's similarly to the other South division that we did with the Buccaneers. This is a division that the Houston Texans have had a firm grip on the last couple of years. Prior to them, Jacksonville had a little bit of run, but this is an interesting division, Idris, and one that I think could be a lot more competitive than people realize, because we have a rookie quarterback in Cam Ward, number 1 overall pick out of the University of Miami, Florida. We've got a quarterback conundrum to an extent going on out in Indy with AR-15 as well as Danny Dimes, two guys who are just trying to get the handle on their respective careers. You know, you have a former perennial Pro Bowl back, now a guy who's going to be serviceable and trying to get his legs and body back. Nick Chubb joining Joe Mixon in that backfield in Houston. And you have Mr. Everything, Colorado, coming into the league, wide receiver, as well as superstar corner, Travis Hunter, who, if he can master the route tree, could potentially be a really nice target for Trevor Lawrence, opposite of Brian Robinson Jr. So, you know, there's a lot going on. Brian Thomas Jr., excuse me. I'm thinking about Washington.
Yeah, it's crazy because it would talk about Travis Hunter saying how he'll be playing mostly defense. It's like 60-40. But I think the South will be more competitive this year. I think Cam Ward is going to be everything advertised. Even the way he looks in training camp, it's like he's set. He's not yapping. He's not trying to look for headlines. He's actually trying to learn the game, and that's how it was after when he got out of college. He stayed focused. Like I'm playing football. This is what I want to do. I think Jacksonville is going to be better. I think they'll be better this year. Trevor Lawrence has to be. You know, it's starting to look like, hey, you might be a bust. I mean, you can't stay healthy. You throw a lot of turnovers. Houston with Nick Chubb, I think Nick Chubb's going to be a good piece. If he can get to close to 80% of how he used to be, that 1-2 punch they have in Houston at running back is going to be insane.
Not to mention, you still have the former Gator Dameon Pierce, who's also going to be in the mix.
Yeah. And in Indy, I'm going to stay by my guns. I say Danny Dimes will be the starter by week 7. I think it's going to be before that, because the way they're sounding right now, because I follow Danny Dimes, so I'm checking out the Colts thing because I keep track of my mans. It sounds like he might be the starter.
Well, you know, it's the weirdest stat. He and AR-15 actually possess the worst quarterback ratings.
Yeah.
And they're on the same team, so something's got to give. Is it going to be a battle of futility that you just kind of say, man, they both are terrible? Or is it going to be the kind of thing where somebody seizes the opportunity? And I must admit, the pressure is not on Jones. The pressure is
right. It's not on Jones,
who came in highly touted.
Yeah.
And a guy who's similar to Jones has been bitten with the injury bug. But we're going to start this up with the Tennessee Titans. They finished fourth last year in this division with a record of 3-14. And, we already alluded to the fact that Cam Ward's coming into, in my opinion, a good situation, and I'm going to explain why. But we got some key additions right here, as well as re-signed players. Johnny Hecker, damn good punter.
Yeah.
Safeties, Xavier Wood and Mike Brown. Wide receiver, Van Jefferson. Offensive line, Dan Moore, Jr. Kevin Zeitler, the former Raven and Giant. Cody Barton, and defensive lineman Sebastian Joseph. And Christian Kirk, who was an interdivision trade, as they got him from Jacksonville. A guy who, in my opinion, has an awful lot of talent. The question is, can he reach his ceiling? Because he's shown moments of brilliance. Gonna hit you with the draft picks in a moment. But Idris, just marinating over what you see here. What do you think about some of these pickups, and who do you think is going to be a legitimate contributor?
On defense, I think they hit it on defense. They have Woods and Brown, and you can see you have Travis Hunter. He's going to be playing corner, so he's going to learn from good DBs. I mean, God, you got two of them. I think they'll be improved. I think they'll be improved, but they're still in a tough division. You still got the Jacksonville, you still got Houston and Indy. We're going to talk about Indy. I think they'll be improved. I think Cam Ward is going to take his punishment. He's going to, he's going to be welcomed in the NFL. And that's how it is with rookies. And
some of the key losses here. You continue. Treylon Burks, who's actually still a free agent. Chidobe Owozie, one of the fastest guys in any season that he's in the league. Yeah. Baltimore Ravens got a player there. Harold Landry, the third, is a Patriot. Kicker Nick Folk, the ageless wonder, back with the New York Jets. The most accurate kicker in the league last year.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to hurt on defense. Uzi, he's fast. God, dude, the guy's quick.
Yeah, these are some of the guys, finding new addresses. So,
yeah, but
versus the additions.
Yeah, I think with Woods and Brown, I think they covered safety. I think safety's covered, so I don't think it'll be much of a miss. Like I said, I see them doing better, maybe 6 wins. It's going to be tough, man. You got a new coach. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough, but they got a bright future. They'll get a good pick next year too. But who knows? They might, in that division, they might surprise somebody. Who knows?
That's the thing. I'm not quite sure what the ceiling is in this division. Houston won it last year with 10 wins and kind of flamed out towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
This year is their draft class. Mm-hmm. We already know Cam Ward out of Miami. Olavejo from UCLA. This guy is quite the athlete. Kevin Winston Jr. This is what I mean about safeties without the value. Going in round 3 or later out of Penn State. Very good ball player there. Gunnar Helm out of Texas. One of the better tight ends. When you look at what they're doing here, I personally think this is a team that you got to hope that Spears stays healthy to spell Pollard the proper way.
Yeah.
But once again, round 6, going to Michigan, getting one of their horses.
That was crazy. I was like, wow. And that's the thing. I like the way Tennessee's building. They're building that offensive line. They're building that defensive backfield. Look at the safeties they got, dude. Like I said, they got Brown and Woods, and look what they got in the draft. They're shoring up that defensive backfield because they know they're going to be in some fights, man, where they need defense to stop Houston, stop Jacksonville, stop Indianapolis, stop the other teams like KC, Denver, they're gonna need that defense. So
and the AFC is stacked. So
yes,
you
I
know,
think they're doing the right thing. I think they're drafting right in. And they got a ways to go though. But
one would have to think that this division more than likely only sends one team, and obviously that would be the division winner.
yeah.
I'm gonna roll up their schedule here. Just bear with me.
Mm-hmm.
Finally started to stop being lazy and labeling these damn things.
Yeah. But I like what they did. Let's look at the schedule. Whew.
Forget week 1. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Forget week 2. I think we could agree on that as well. I would say week 3 is their first chance for a victory home for the Colts.
Yeah.
And it gets no more easy. Mm-hmm. You have a 3-game roadie.
And the Raiders
home for New England.
Push over this year. They could get. I don't know about New England, man. Could New England may not be a win for them. Then they got the Colts again, so they got Indy out of the way. I think they'll split with Indy. I don't think they'll beat Indy in Indy. They're gonna get boat raced by the Chargers.
Oh yeah, Chargers are
gonna go to Houston. Seattle won't be a pushover. Jacksonville, Cleveland might be a win because we don't know what the hell. They got 18 quarterbacks right now.
And the tough thing for this division, they got to play the AFC West.
Right.
In addition to the NFC West.
Right.
So I'll be honest with you. It wouldn't blow my mind if the division winner is only a game over 500.
Yeah, I might have to chill on that 6. I said 6, but I don't see 6, man. I see.
I'll give them the Browns game.
I give them the Browns. I'll give
them the Saints.
I give them the Saints. I say split with the Saints. I mean, split with Indy. I'll give them the Browns. I give them the Saints. That's 3. Maybe split with Jacksonville. Maybe. That's 4. Well, that's 3 in a possible.
I'm gonna give them 6, Idris. 6 and 11.
Yeah, I'll give them 6. They'll sneak 1 or 2, especially.
They gotta sweep either Indy or Jacksonville to make that happen. But I'll be honest with you, I'm very endeared with Houston's defense.
Yeah.
But I've got to see what they're going to do offensively. C.J. Stroud coming off an off year for his standards, but I do believe that 3-headed running back room is going to help alleviate some of that.
Yeah, I think so too. Because what's his name still out? Receiver got hurt. I can't remember his name. He got hurt in the playoffs.
You're talking about Tank Dell?
Yeah, because he's still out.
That was an ugly ass injury.
He might not be back this season.
No, I don't think so. And I'm pretty sure that they addressed that. I was checking out what they did.
They did. I think they drafted 2 receivers.
They also lost Diggs, who from going back last year.
Yeah, I forgot to those Diggs.
He ended up going to New England, and he's already in some, not exactly winning over Mike Vrabel. I'll put it to you that way.
Wow, it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise. Yeah, see, they drafted.
I really see 6 wins is the question. I'm gonna give these guys 6 wins. They end the season on a 2-game winning streak.
Yeah, I'll give them 6. Golly, damn, you got the AFC West and the NFC West, man, and both teams right now might be 4 deep.
Cardinals, in my opinion, gonna be a lot better.
They're gonna be a lot.
Houston is the defending champions in this division, and they're home.
Yeah,
Indy's got a good defense as well. I'm not sure what Indy's. My worry with Indy is the quarterbacks. We'll talk about them in a minute, but Denver and LA to start out, that is brutal.
Yeah.
That is brutal for a young quarterback coming in.
Yeah. And the Raiders, they got Pete Carroll, and he's a defensive coach. He knows how to get at the quarterback.
I think Gino's going to do some good things with Pete Carroll in Vegas.
I think so too, man.
And I love that tight end, Brock Bowers, and I think really highly of the Boise State man, Ashton Genty. They're going to be an interesting team this year.
Yeah, they're young, but they're coming.
Still a 4th place finish. I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
Unless if they're able to lure Micah out of Dallas, we'll see how that plays out.
You're going to Philly.
I hate to say it. I think you're right.
I've been saying it for 2
years. What? If I'm Jerry Jones, I'm not even going to play games. Yo, you want to play there? All right, bet.
Yeah.
How many first rounders, Philly?
Yep.
Just like that.
Yep.
Because if you want to get what you want to get,
be like, they're going to have to give up for Micah.
Yeah, man. I personally do not know which way that's going to go. I mean, he may very well sit out a little bit and try to force their hand by the deadline.
I think he'll sit out a little bit, but I think he'll wind up playing. But I think with this,
he loves the
if
game,
he doesn't get a deal, I think he's out. I think he'll just be like, I'm on. Well, we're gonna get to them one day. But yeah.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
We got a lot to talk about them.
All right, we're gonna move it over to Duval, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah.
All right.
4-13 last year, third in the AFC South. New coach, new regime, new owner, big facelift. They did not bring back a lot of their guys from last year. I'm going to start with the losses here just to show some of the name value. As I already said, Christian Kirk, previous team we spoke on. Evan Ingram is a Denver Bronco. I like that for him.
That's a good, yeah.
Wide receiver Josh Reynolds, numbers game in Detroit. He's a Jet now. And as I said, he kicked around even going back to last year. He was on this team. Mac Jones, 49 a backup.
Dang.
Brandon Scherf and Andre Cisco.
Yeah.
One of them still free agent. Cisco is currently a Jet now. So those are some of their losses. Evan Ingram had a breakout year, kind of like what the New York Giants were craving since his 2015 rookie season. That was his best season last year since he first came in the league.
Yeah.
If I'm a Jaguar fan, can't applaud losing a guy like that. Ingram has stepped up in a lot of ways, especially his downfield blocking, making an honest effort, but just taking better care of securing the football. One of the biggest issues with him when he was wearing giant blue.
Hands, man. Yeah, he had some bad hands. He couldn't hold on to the ball, man. Whether you passed it or doing the end run, he couldn't hold on to the ball, man.
Yeah, they want to talk about Eli's 500 record. He could point at Evan Ingram for a couple of those.
Yeah, quite a few.
Jaguars' key free agent additions, they needed to obviously replace Mac Jones. I think Nick Mullins is an adequate one. Cornerback Jordan Lewis, safety Eric Murray, guard Patrick McCarry, center Robert Hainsey, wide receiver De'Ami Brown, offensive tackle Chuma Edoga, offensive tackle Fred Johnson, tight end Munt, and tight end Long. Munt is more of the pass catcher, where Long was more of the blocker. I'll be honest with you, bro. I'm not really seeing a lot roster-based. Now, we didn't get into their draft just yet, but I'm not seeing anything roster-based that's really making me overly excited about what they're doing right now.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Compared to what they lost and what they brought back in, I think the experience level went down a little bit. You know, Christian Kirk, I know he hasn't been what he should be, but we know he has the talent to do it. You know,
no question.
Yeah, even Evan Ingram is a tight end who can get down the field. He's a downfield tight end. Over the middle, he can do all that stuff. I mean, he's not a big blocker, but he can block. So you're losing him, and he's a safety blanket. Just in case. I think they did good on drafting, but you got to get that game speed, man, and you can't come out the gate in that division like we talked about with
I'm gonna mess with you here for a second.
Yeah,
I think you're making some good points, so I'm just gonna say this.
Oh yeah. Like we said about oh God, I just forgot.
I just threw you off the tracks. Asshole.
Oh, I ain't gonna call you that on air.
Bro, we're brothers, bro. You say what you gotta say.
Well, like we said about Tennessee, they're gonna go through some growing pains, man, and they can't come out the gate slow, because if they do, it's gonna be rough, man. They had, like I said, they had the NFC West and the AFC West. You got 4 deep divisions pretty much with veteran quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't like this team right now. Mm-hmm. I do like some of their later picks. I watched more Navy games this particular year than I have in recent time.
Yeah,
I do like that safety they picked up. Jonah Monheim out of USC. I think that's a steal that late in the draft. Travis Hunter, I mean, I get it. Coming out of Colorado, a lot of people want to see him be that two-way player, but his niche has always been playing corner, because truthfully, I said it before, What separates Will Johnson from him? Because some people will say Will Johnson's a better cover.
Right.
Tootin out of Vitek makes sense to me. Now, Jack Kaiser, an overachiever in every sense of the word going back to his time in Notre Dame, I expect him to be a good contributor here and take a little weight off of the shoulders of linebacker Josh Allen, another guy that our Giants should have drafted and didn't.
Yeah.
We could have had both Josh Allen.
Yeah, I was going to say we could have had both Josh Allens. White Josh and Black Josh, you know?
Yeah, White Josh and Black Josh, for real. But we're going to pull up this schedule. I'll be honest, Idris, I am not endeared with this roster. God. And I just don't feel good about their new coach. Now, I get it. He's coming over quickly as a fast climber, formerly an OC. And it's been the trend in the league where a lot of the hot coordinators are getting the quick jobs, but they don't have that kind of rope.
Yeah.
Starting it off versus Carolina, that's a game that truthfully could go either way.
Yeah. I think the advantage in I can't even say it's the advantage in Duval because they don't play well at home.
No, they play better on the road and in Europe.
That's a
and in Europe.
Yeah. Now then, since he's going to run them,
give me 1-4 out of the gates. I could give him a Seattle victory, being that's like, kind of like a rough trip for the Seahawks.
Yeah, because that's a day game. It's an early game for Seattle. So, yeah, I could see them winning that one. I think the Rams will run them. They go to Vegas. Vegas will easy out. So it's a toss-up. I think Houston's going to run them.
I think the Jets are going to smack them.
I think the Chargers are going to run them. Arizona, they should beat 10. They should beat Indy at home. But then again, I don't know. They don't play that good in Duval. Yeah, I think the Jets are going to run them. I think Detroit's going to run them. Now, at Indy, I don't know. It depends on what's going on at the end of the season.
I hate to say it.
Dude, they
got one here. I'm going to give them 2 against Seattle. Seattle's a decent team. I just think that's a weak game.
I'm going to say 4, man.
Yeah, 4-13 again.
Yeah, I can't see nothing else, man. I mean, they lost a lot. They brought some good players in, but they didn't bring in the level of players that they lost. Evan Ingles and Christian Kirk, man. I mean, come on. I mean,
and Travis Hunter, off the rip, I think he's going to be in a lot of compromising positions because of the fact that back end of that Jacksonville defense is not what it was a couple of years ago.
Right, exactly.
I do believe that in the linebacking corps in that middle there, I do like the Kaiser pickup.
Yeah.
I think Kaiser's a very intelligent player.
Yeah.
I think that his football acumen actually compensates for some of his physical limitations.
Yeah.
But we'll see. At the NFL level, it's a lot different. Guys are a lot quicker. We saw it happen to another Notre Dame legend, Manti Te'o. Once he hit the pros, it just wasn't the same thing for him.
Same thing.
But this team is under complete construction, and I'm not completely sure how long this is going to take. I look for good stuff.
They should fire Doug Peterson. I mean,
I think that he kind of wanted out as much as they wanted him.
He probably wanted out because he wouldn't. Him and the owners, they wouldn't.
He was not enjoying himself there.
No.
This is a guy that won a Super Bowl in Philly and got them over.
They got rid of him because him and the owners wasn't seeing eye to eye. They probably
and they were also in transition. Khan is no longer involved up top, to my understanding. So
yeah,
a lot of turnover in general. But friend of the show, Jordan Patrick, he didn't get into it that deep because he didn't really feel the need to. He just flat out told me we're not that good.
Oh, Jordan.
I'm giving them.
He keep it real though. He keep it real though.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think they're going to be the worst team in this division.
Yeah, I think
4-13 finish. 2 games worse than the third place team, which I think is going to be Tennessee. I think this is a 2-team race.
Yeah, me too. But I got to move on. I got to move next door to the other StreamYard, to the Casual Convo show. But I'll be late. Hold on, I'll be late.
You don't gotta be late, bro.
Well, let me say about I'm gonna catch the end of the show because I'm gonna have this still listening to you while I'm on. I shouldn't even say that on live, but I'm saying. As for I'm going with Houston to win the division. I think Indianapolis will be better. Like I said, I'm going to say on record, Daniel Jones will be the starter by week 7. He might get there earlier, but he will be the starter by week 7. You'll see a significant difference in that Indianapolis team. You heard it right here. I'm going to put this as a clip. So if I'm wrong, y'all can throw it in my face and I can eat that crow. 8-9.
Oh my.
Now, no, I'm going Indy 9-8.
What?
I'm going 8-9. 8-9 for I'm going 8-9 for Indy. I'm gonna go 10-7 for Houston. All right, yo, I got to go next door.
Next time we'll just multi-stream and we can hit them with some of this like right before they get hot on their topics. Idris, I will talk to you later, bro.
Yeah.
Feel free to get up in the comments.
Oh, I am. I can't say too much more. All right, man.
Later, brother. All right, Idris is going to head over to the Casual Convo Show, and I'm going to keep it going here. Colts key additions and re-sign players, as Idris already mentioned. Quarterback Daniel Jones. This is a good opportunity for Daniel Jones. You know, he's done something that Anthony Richardson hasn't. He's actually won a playoff game. Khalil Herbert, embattled former running back of the Chicago Bears, brings a little depth behind perennial All-Pro, perennial Pro Bowler Jonathan Taylor. I think this team did a good job in terms of re-signing and getting players from the outside. Their losses, in my opinion, you got a couple of tough ones here. Joe Flacco, he wasn't the player he was for the Colts that he was for the Ravens and Browns. Kyle Granson, depth piece for the Eagles. Offensive lineman Will Fries, good ball player. Ryan Kelly, both of these dudes going over to Minnesota. And I'm going to hit you with their draft class. Tight end Tyler Warren out of Penn State. I'm going to say it now. I think he's the best tight end in this particular draft. I like Justin Wally out of Minnesota. Jalen Travis, Iowa State offensive tackle. Running back R.J. Giddens, a guy that has a lot of open field capabilities, a guy who can stop and start on a dime. Defensive tackle Tim Smith out of Bama. Hunter Wohler, who I think is a bit of a steal, round 7 out of Wisconsin. I noticed a lot of these Wisconsin players going later in the draft, but these are guys that I think could be quick contributors. I see the Colts ceiling as 11 wins. I see their floor as 7. Give me a 9-8 record for these Indianapolis Colts, and I'm going to say this. If they fare well against the Houston Texans, they will be a surprise team, and they are going to win this division. I said it here first. I think Indy has the capabilities to potentially win this division. I'm also going to go as far as saying, and this might get me laughed out of the room here, that former embattled Giants quarterback Daniel Jones, who is getting a second lease on his NFL life, will be a candidate for comeback player of the year. I do believe that to be true. What is up, Noah? Can I finish my show and then we'll talk about it? Can I finish my show and we'll talk about it? All right. Got a comment coming in. H-Town Finest, welcome to the show. Don't think you've been here before. I'm assuming that you are a Houston Texan fan. So by all means, hop on in the conversation, or even if you'd so much as want to join. I'm going to bring in the Houston Texans here for a moment. Last year, winning this division with a 10-7 record, lost to the Chiefs in the AFC divisional round. Key addition and re-signed players, Cam Robinson, fullback. You know, that's a position that is going definitely extinct. And I'm proud to say that we had one of the great fullbacks from yesteryear in William Barnum Floyd on the panel. Hell of a person, hell of a player, and he's the last fullback that actually went in the first round. Linebacker E.J. Speed, running back Dar. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his last name. That is a depth piece, a guy who's been there. Some of these are indeed re-signed players. Running back Nick Chubb, I find intriguing because, you know, he had that horrific injury in the Pittsburgh Steelers game. And, you know, when you have lower extremity injuries, especially guys that have been in the league 7 years or more, it is not easy to come back from. But I do believe that in this situation, he could definitely help out with Joe Mixon. And you also have Dameon Pierce, the former Gator, who kind of regressed after year one. But I believe that being around both of these guys is actually going to build him up as well. And, you know, just better ways to approaching each and every season. Well, bro, let me ask you this. If I would have told you a couple of years ago that Geno Smith was going to be a comeback player of the year, would you have laughed that off? It happened. He beat out Saquon Barkley. Daniel Jones is a good athlete. Super Bowl or bust. For your team, you're talking about the Texans, Super Bowl or bust? No disrespect, but I think you got to hone those expectations in just a little if you're talking Super Bowl. CJ Stroud's coming off a rough year, for lack of a better word. And, you know, the Kansas City Chiefs still have something to say about that conference. And I also believe that the Denver Broncos, as well as the Los Angeles Chargers, are going to have something to say. And then you have your usual teams that are going to be there, but just can't get over the Chiefs. And that would, of course, be the Baltimore Ravens, as well as the Buffalo Bills. But one thing that I do like about the Houston roster, they've got a damn good front seven. This is a defense that can get after people. Key losses, the big one, Laramie Tunsil traded to the Commanders, but I like what they got in return. I think it was the right time to trade him because a player like him is not going to get better at this juncture of his career. And, you know, the Commanders, I understand why they did it too. You know, protecting their huge asset in Jaden Daniels. Overrated. Yeah, maybe so. I mean, going back to his draft, if it wasn't for the gas mask, I personally think that he would have gone number one overall. I wanted to punch our general manager for not drafting him as a Giants fan and instead bringing in Eli Apple, one of the worst draft day decisions by my team. We're going to talk about this draft class for a moment here. Round 2, wide receiver Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State. Urseri out of Minnesota, and a lot of mocks going into last year's draft. This guy was high up on the board. Jalen Smith out of USC. Running back Woody Marks also out of USC. Safety Jalen Reed. I keep saying it on my shows, and that's why safeties don't get paid like that unless you Ed Reed or Palomalu. These guys go late in drafts. It's a positional value thing. Quarterback Graham Mertz out of Florida. Of course, he would only see the field if there was obviously something terribly wrong with quarterback CJ Stroud. Luke Lachey out of Iowa, a talented football player. Actually, from a skill set, reminds me a little bit of Travis Beckham, the best part of Travis Beckham, a guy who didn't quite pan out with my New York Giants, but showed moments of brilliance. Yeah, I tend to agree. No, they're definitely going to be able to stretch out the field and apply pressure, especially when you consider that running back room is going to be pretty deep. I like your defense. I do. Got a damn good kicker as well. You know, we don't talk about kickers a lot on the show or punters, but the God's honest truth is Kylie's good. One of the best kickers in the league. Luke Lachey, a steal in round 7 as far as I'm concerned. Keontae Hamilton out of Rutgers, I think he's got to put on a little more weight, but definitely could be a contributor. I've got a similar fate to what happened last year, but we're going to go over the schedule here for a second. All right, we've got Week 1 at the LA Rams. That's going to be a damn good football game to open. I'll be honest, the Rams are my way too early pick to come out of the NFC. I think were it not for a false start last year, the Rams would have beat the Philadelphia Eagles in that snow game. Tampa Bay at home, the home opener. I'm willing to say 1-1 out of that gate. I think you win that ball game. You'll beat Jacksonville. You should beat Tennessee. Baltimore is going to be a good test, but early in the season, if you're going to get them on the road, that's where you want it before the weather gets cold. You know what? I'm going to be generous here. I'm going to say they win the Baltimore game. But after the bye week, a letdown in Seattle, 49er game truly could go either way. Depends what Niner team shows up and if they're healthy. I'll give you the edge because you're home versus Denver. You're home. I get it. I still like Denver there. Think you get Jacksonville. I'll put it to you this way. I think you're going to go 5-1 in your division, and I think it's an 11-6 finish. Possibly 12-5. Possibly. That Charger game is going to be a tough one, depending on what's going on week 18. If you don't necessarily need the game, if you can't jump up at all, that could be a game where you're resting guys. Do I have 12 wins here? That is what. Buffalo has struggled against you guys in recent time, and that's a home game. At KC is going to be a tough one. Very rarely do teams go into Arrowhead in the regular season and walk away with a win. I'm going to give you guys 11-6. But I believe that maybe the sixth loss is that last game in Indy, a game that you don't necessarily need. That's debatable. That is definitely debatable. They weren't better than them last year. We got to see what Cam Ward could do. I'll tell you what, though, out the gates, that is going to be tough. That is going to be very tough. I don't share your sentiments on that just yet, but we shall see. So let me ask you, H-Town, what is your final record for your team? How do you see this panning out? I know you said Super Bowl or bust, but what is your genuine opinion on how this plays out? I'm going to let you get on that and give you a moment to respond. Also, thank you for hanging. Appreciate having new people coming in here. So definitely please hit that subscribe button. And if you ever want to come on and chop it up, just get at me here in the comments. Get at me on the socials. And, you ever see us live and you want to come on in, by all means. But a lot of storylines in this division, bro. Most definitely a lot of storylines. I do think very highly of Cam Ward. I do believe that he has the most talent out of anyone taken. But after that, to your point about Tennessee, I think they still need a lot of help. Broncos, Bills, Ravens, and them sneaky Cards will be a challenge. Yeah, the Cardinals got a good squad, dude. Jonathan Gannon doing a good job with that team. And I'll tell you what, they play very well against my division, the NFC East. So what's your final record here, boss? I'm going 11-6. With a fringing on 12-5. So you got the ceiling and the floor separated by a game. Got to account for injuries. I hope for your team's sake that CJ Stroud stays healthy. A healthy CJ Stroud is huge. I expect more from him this year. Last year was a tough season. A lot of challenges for your squad. But I'll tell you one thing, bro, and I have no problem saying this. I think you're the best team in Texas. I'm not even going to debate on that. But as I have it, final projections, I'm going to just post it up here so that way you guys can see. These are my final predictions and projections for these teams. We're going to go all right, 11-6 for these Texans. 9-8 for the Colts. Six and 11 for those Titans. And finishing in last, the guys from Duval, the Jacksonville Jaguars, at 4-13. Similar to the other South Division in the league. I just don't really feel comfortable with anybody else other than the previous division winner. I think the Indianapolis Colts are not that bad. I think Steichen has something going there, but it's alarming when you think about their two quarterbacks with those horrific quarterback ratings. Okay, fair point. But where do you have your guys finishing before we get out of here? Where are you finishing this year, boss? I'm going to give you a chance to respond to that, and I'm going to get the schedule off my head. As soon as I get out of here, going to switch channels and go over to the Casual Convo show, see what they're up to over there. Definitely make it a point to check them out on Hand Radio. Our guy Idris Salam, as well as the beautiful Miss Coco. You can check them out on Hand Radio. Check out the Basement Show with my guy Johnny Nast, doing big things over there. They got a great team, a lot of diversity on that show, constantly putting in work. Check out the Bleed Blue Show as well. Is that Mike Zappi? What is up, bro? Mike Zappi. I love it. What's up, brother? Welcome back.
What's going on, man? I just realized you guys were going live or on for. Are you guys finishing up?
Idris dipped out. We have somebody that's hanging here from Houston that is a Texan fan. So, by all means, Zappi, rip. I talked quite a bit. Tell me how you feel this division is going to play out. The floor is yours, bro.
Dude, I honestly think this division is one of the trickier ones this year. We know Tennessee right now, they're going through a rebuild. They brought in Cam Ward, a guy who they're putting a lot on, but fortunately, I don't think he's going to have much success. I don't think enough people are talking about the Colts because they could be sneaky good. Or they really can be sneaky good, and I don't think their quarterback is the one they drafted. I think it's the one that came from New York.
That's what I just mentioned to our new friend, H-Town Finest. He's a Texan fan. He doesn't have a high opinion of Daniel Jones, and I know a lot of football fans don't. I mean, shit. He put my team through some shit. But I will say this, and I said it to H-Town Finest here on the show. I think Daniel Jones is a legitimate candidate, low-key, for comeback player of the year. And, I said it could get me laughed at, but if I would have said Geno Smith a couple of years back, I probably would have got laughed at for that too, Zap.
Yeah, no question about it. And I mean, you've got to look at him as a possibility because he did suffer a terrifying knee injury. What, week 5 of last year was it?
Yes.
So it's
yes.
Things like that. If he comes out and sure, he should be in the conversation. And then looking at the rest of the division, I think a lot of people are putting their money on Houston, but while CJ Stroud's got 2 playoff wins already in his early career, I think the loss of Joe Milton early is going to hurt them and haunt them. And yes, I know they brought in Nick Chubb, but again, knee injury, and Nick Chubb, for many people, including myself, thought this one was going to do it. He didn't look too great last year in the second half of the season with Cleveland.
It's forgivable, I think, when you're coming off the lower extremities, because I saw it with Saquon with my team, how it took him a minute to get back to himself, so to speak. That was 2022, and then, of course, we saw what he did last year behind a great offensive line, Colts. He had one good season. You could say that, but we could also kind of say that C.J. Stroud, 2 good seasons. What's the barometer? What's the ceiling and what's the floor?
I mean, if you would have put any quarterback behind that New York Giants offensive line, they were going to be bad.
I am not going to defend Daniel Jones in his New York run, but you do make a legitimate point.
Look at Baker and Sam Darnold.
Sam Ward is better than Danny Dimes now.
Situation.
Well, he should be. He's the number 1 overall pick, but that doesn't mean that his team is better than the Indianapolis Colts.
Correct. And no, and like with Houston, they should be the team that wins the division this year. They should be. They've won it the last few years. DeMeco Ryans is a great head coach. CJ Stroud, I think before the season started, you were kind of hoping or expecting him to have MVP numbers, and I didn't think it was going to be that.
CJ let me down on some of my projections for him last year.
What I don't like about Houston this year is they lost too much, and I'm like, well, what are you trying to do? You're supposed to be in your Super Bowl window, and you're trading away Laramie Tunsil. You're doing other things, and defensively, I'm excited to see what they have. I mean, I think they're going to probably.
I like the return on Tunsil.
Huh?
I like the return that they got in the Tunsil deal, but I get what you're saying.
You got to protect your quarterback, number one.
How long has DJ been in the league? He came in 2019, the season after Saquon Barkley.
That doesn't mean anything, though. Honestly, if you've been watching football for a very long time, what you have understand is some guys can come into the NFL and hit the ground running, and some guys it takes 3, 4, 5 years, and sometimes a little longer.
I spoke on Geno Smith. I'm not saying that Danny Dimes is going to light the world on fire, but with an easier schedule than the Houston Texans because of where they finished, second place schedule is always a little more favorable than a first place schedule. The biggest reason why I got the Texans winning the division is because despite everything I said, I think the Texans are going to beat the Colts twice, and that is the difference. I got the Colts going 9-8, a strong 9-8, and I got these guys going 11-6. Now, in the event that they are to lose their final game, I'm going to go as far as saying that it's a game that they don't necessarily need. But that's kind of like with my barometer for if they're a 12-win team or an 11-win team. Looks like we may have lost Zappy. He's coming at us from Texas. H-Town Finest. Tunsil was a flag machine. Yes, sir. I tend to agree. Zappy is back. Let's get him back in here. Zappy, before you go any further, this dog was from the ball game you were at last night, correct?
Yeah.
Bro, I got to admit, you know I love animals. Love dogs particularly. And when you're pissed off and your team lets you down, but you immediately see something like this, let's be real, dude. It's hard to be in a bad mood.
Dude, I saw that he's walking by. The owner was walking by me, and I was like, "Oh my god, I got to take a photo." But yeah, Laramie Tunsil was a flag machine, but he's still a starting left tackle in the NFL.
He was successful. I'm so sorry, Zappy. I got to address this. He was successful because of Saquon. All right, well, hear me out. The closest the New York Football Giants ever got to winning a division with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley as members of the team was a season that Saquon Barkley actually missed the entire year. Now, granted, it was one of the worst years in NFC East history, if not the worst, as the NFC East that we know it. It's a division that has all the Lombardis. Fast forward to 2022, yes, they had the fourth best rushing attack in the NFL. But Jones was playing pretty good football when you had guys that some of them aren't even employed right now in the NFL helping lead a New York Giants attack. And I think it was one of Brian Dable's greatest coaching jobs. I'm not going to fend for Danny Dimes on that level because we saw what Saquon Barkley did in Philly behind the best offensive line possibly since the 92 Cowboys. But I will say this. To say he was only successful because of Saquon is kind of funny because they both lost a lot together. And their one playoff win together, Daniel Jones was the best player on the field that day. And he also broke an NFL record in that game, which people want to play down. Saquon Barkley also got swallowed whole by the Philadelphia defense the very next year before joining them 2 years later. So while I have nothing but love and admiration for Saquon Barkley, and I have no bad feelings after an initial blow-up when he did leave and went to Philadelphia, to say he was only successful because of Saquon, you might want to watch the tape on that Viking game again.
Yeah. Lastly, I don't have Houston winning the division this year. I have the team that has not been talked about yet, and that is the Jaguars. I like what this Jaguars team has done, what they've built.
We're on completely opposite sides of the spectrum here. Idris Salam is calling me. Hang on. Continue to talk, Zach. Yo, Idris, we're still live.
Oh, I'm coming on there.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
No, one of the big things I like about the Jaguars is who they brought in as their head coach. While he might not be the greatest producer of getting the fans wild up by sitting there saying Dable or whatever Duval, but no, I'm a firm believer in this Jaguar team this year. I think this Jaguars team is going to make a leaps and bounds, a huge difference from what they were last year or even the year before. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, how long was Trevor Lawrence been in the league for? I don't care. Trevor Lawrence has been in multiple bad situations where he's finally in a good situation with a good head coach. And I look at who he's got. So you feel that
jumping from OC to head coach is going to go in Cohn's favor, and he's going to be that dude?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's a reason why Tampa didn't want to lose him. So he's a special guy. I think his formula success with that team is going to help Trevor Lawrence and that offense a lot. Not to mention Brian Thomas going into year 2. You bring in Travis Hunter, who's going to be now is considered the number 2 wide receiver, who's someone that they can put at all over the field. And then you talk about their 2 running backs, one of them who was a rookie last year in Tank Bigsby, who has taken the starting job away, So this Jaguar team, and if you look at them defensively, I think defensively they've made all the right additions to this team where I have them finishing 11-6 and winning the division this year.
Who Jacksonville?
Jaguars.
Woo.
Check this out. Real quick. H-Town. What are you arguing with me about? I'm not saying that Saquon Barkley is not a better football player or a better impact player in this league than Daniel Jones. I'm just saying that the time that they both won a playoff game, Daniel Jones was the best player on the field. Watch the tape.
And what does Pro Bowls mean? Absolutely nothing.
Not a fucking thing.
Nothing.
CJ Stroud is going to have more Pro Bowls than Eli Manning, but he ain't going to have more rings. Pro Bowls, bro. Pro Bowls? We've been doing backflips over that glorified flag football game.
Pro Bowls don't have the same meaning what they meant back in the 90s or even the early 2000s.
I'm assuming that he thinks his Rockets are going to win the NBA championship too. So let me just fall back here.
They got the greatest in KD there.
Greatest what? Greatest what? That's Idris's guy anyway.
Who?
KD. Oh, he got him.
That's what I said. Who? Who?
But H-Town, for real though, thanks for hanging with us. Always like seeing new people, trying to ruffle the feathers, talking some smack. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Oh man. Where we at?
Zappy.
Because I heard Zappy
thinks that the Jaguars might actually win this division.
11-6, man. Well, I think you and I had 4 wins, 6 wins, something like that for Jacksonville.
Well, right when you dipped, I said 11-6 for the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
9-8 for the Colts, which would be a repeat performance of last year. Yeah. I actually had Jacksonville finishing once again 4-13.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So Zappy being on the other side of the spectrum, if Zappy hits this right, this is gonna be funny.
A-Style fighters.
Somebody needs to get Zappy a mental welfare check.
I don't know. I've been pretty good on my predictions year in and year out, so I guess I'll get one.
me and Zappy struck out on this division a couple of years ago, both picking the Colts. But to be fair, Zappy has been pretty good around here on these predictions, so I vouch for that. We have about 2 years worth of history here to vouch for that.
More than that.
Yeah, true that. Idris, anything more you want to add to this?
Yeah, I know when I left, I got a chance to really briefly talk about Jacksonville, Houston, and Indy. Like I said, I'm sticking by Daniel Jones. By week 7, he'll be a starter. I just don't think they had confidence in Anthony, which I felt like
I think Daniel Jones is going to be the starter in the 7th quarter of the season.
He might be.
I don't know about week 7.
I think both were too high because I wasn't too high on Anthony Richardson. To be honest with you, I thought he was a 3rd-round draft pick at best because I didn't see nothing in Florida. I mean, the guy freaking like 50% passing, under 50% last year. Something. I mean, horrible, dude. He's
And
not.
can we agree on one thing, that read option guys very rarely transition to the NFL in a better situation?
Yeah, because they don't read defenses that well, and they're just
No, their only read is the linebacker or the defensive end.
that's
Yes,
it.
sir.
That's it.
Too much reliance on their God-given athletic ability,
Yeah,
but they're not enhancing. They're not enhancing their field vision, things of that nature. That's why I applaud Lamar. Lamar has stepped up his game over the last couple of years.
Yeah, he had to. Well, he he's with Flacco for a short bit. Short bit. So Houston, I think 11-7. I mean 11-6, I mean. I like them picking up Chubb. I know Chubb's not who he used to be, but like I said, if he can be 80% of what he was, and they got Pierce, I think that's gonna be a good 1-2-3 punch at running back.
Yeah.
We'll see. Football's back, man.
Football's back. I'm happy for it. I think Zappy's off on his Jacksonville love. But you know what? That's what makes it fun, because I would really be annoyed if we all agreed on everything here.
Yeah.
H-Town finest, Daniel Jones will be a journeyman quarterback. Man, that's really going out on a limb, pal.
Nah, I think Indianapolis is
great drop in, money.
I think he's in Indy. I think that's it.
That's a hell of a drop in, man. This is like earth-shattering information. Daniel Jones will be a journeyman quarterback. I think he's already proven that in his time with my team. What I'm saying is he could be a candidate for comeback player of the year. How many guys do you think are candidates? You look for injured guys and guys who suck. He sucks. Then you got injured guys.
Yep. He was both.
Geno Smith won that award against Saquon Barkley.
Geno was probably going out to one of the biggest busts.
Here's the key to remember when it goes to that award. 9 times out of 10, if there's a quarterback involved, the quarterback's going to get it.
Yep.
Michael from Duval, buddy, we had a great time at that game in 22. The game that got extended when Dexter Lawrence accidentally hit one too many hair follicles on Trevor Lawrence. We both ended up going to the playoffs that year. Landon Collins, that was his comeback tour, his very first game back with the G-Men. I had to dust off the jersey. Goal line stand right in front of the end zone. Idris and I.
We were right there.
That was a damn good game.
We were right there.
That was a fun game.
I got pictures. I was like, we're right there.
Yeah, the former namesake of the show is actually a huge Jacksonville Jaguar fan. Shouts out Jordan Patrick.
Yeah. He's not delusional either.
No, not at all.
No
fly zone in Houston. Lasker Bullet, Petrie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Houston's going to have a sick defense.
Yeah.
I tend to agree. They may lead the NFL in sacks. They're going to be up there with the likes of the Minnesota Vikings, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Denver Broncos, and dare I say my New York Giants might be in the top 5, 6, or 7 in sacks this year in the league.
Yeah. Football's back, man.
Interesting.
I can't wait.
Want to see – I'm excited to see Will Anderson going into this season with Daniela Hunter, year 2 of that. That's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Zappy, changing gears for a second, and we'll come right back to this. First of all, congrats on your series victory against my New York Yankees. Well done, sir. Bro, when Bednar came in today, I felt like just this horrific anxiety in my chest. I'm like, oh, Jesus, not again. And when they brought in the Adolis, I was like, oh, boy. That was a very tense final at-bat that we fortunately got the better of Adolis in that situation. Yankees extend their lead in the wild card picture 2 over a surging Texas Rangers team, a team that is really playing good baseball right now. It was a game the Yankees really, really had to have, and they did. But that's all I'm going to say. I'm relieved that we beat a good baseball team that, outclassed us the first.
And you know what? And the moment we brought in Garcia, not the pitcher, I sat there and I said he's going to give up a blast to Goldschmidt. Because it's like that's all he has done his last, I think that's 4 consecutive games he's played where he gives up a game difference home run, and look what happened. That ended up being the difference. And each time he pitches, we lose. So that's all. I was like, all right, as soon as he comes in, I'm like, all right, we lost this game. I mean, we had the entire bullpen at our hands, and I don't know if this is Bruce Bochy saying, all right, I'm going to give you one more chance. I'm going to see, and then see what you can do. Nothing, you're gone. I mean, we saw what he did with Jock Peterson, and now Jock Peterson has a hot bat.
Bro, if he would have, if Adolis would have came through there, I might have been like, you know what? Scrap the AFC South. I'm about to get canceled tonight. Because that's how sick I am with this Yankees bullpen and all things related to Aaron Boone's train of thinking. But I will say this. I try to be fair. He pinch hit Goldschmidt for Ben Rice and immediate rewards for that move.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh, 100%.
I think
it was fun. It was a good series.
Good series, man. Congrats. You took 2 out of 3.
But you guys, I mean, you guys have a very tough series this weekend because you guys are fighting for your wild card spot to keep your distance, but then also Houston is fighting to hold on to the AL West.
A familiar foe, but we do have a good record on Old Timers Day.
And it's still crazy that Carlos Correa is now a part of that team.
I know.
Crazy.
When he kind of opened the door, I suspected that there was a lot more to it.
Yeah. That was a hint. It was a hit.
Only thing the Jags and Colts will do is win a top 10 draft pick. H-Town Finest, one thing I got to say, whether or not you are correct, be thankful that you play in that division.
You ain't lying.
I'll be real with you, bud. If you guys were in the AFC West,
I
don't necessarily think that you would have this poked out confidence.
Before games.
Here, I'll be straightforward. I'll be straightforward with people from Houston.
He said people from Houston.
Especially when can you just give me one Super Bowl? Like, be humble enough to understand that as an Oiler or Texan
fan, are you referring to the Oilers or the Texans?
Both. You know, so let's while you're going to talk crap about the Jaguars,
be thankful that Pat Riley is a stubborn son of a bitch because John Stark should have been benched.
Yeah.
No, I seriously let's not forget
Roe Blackman should have got some burn there.
Hey, I got a question. Between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars, which team has made an AFC Championship team multiple times? And which team has not?
The boys from Duval, with the guy who took this team to 2 Super Bowl triumphs over the great Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
Just gonna say that I'm sorry, the Texans. Yeah, your guys are living good the last 2 years, but don't forget where you came from.
Hey, when we talk about the NFC,
done us in last year. Yeah, no question about it, bro. No question about it.
Yeah, injuries did us. Injuries been doing us since 2012.
Injuries, poor tackling, forgetting where the first down markers are.
Bad draft picks.
Going for multiple.
Bad hires. Everything.
Going for a quarterback sneak on 2nd and 3rd and long.
Yeah.
Joe Judge style.
And deep in our own, on a 2-yard line, on our side of the field.
24-year-old franchise buddy.
Here.
Time out. Can I get him? How long the Ravens been around before they won their first Super Bowl?
Right.
And then, yes, you're right. You're a 24-year-old franchise, unless if you're under 24 years old.
Did you go to the AFC Championship in your 2nd year of existence like the Jaguars did?
Booyah.
No. And you know what? The Jaguars are only a few years older than the Texans. Did you go to
the NFC Championship in the 2nd year of existence like the Carolina Panthers did?
But the Jaguars and Texas came in together, right?
No. Carolina.
The Jaguars and Panthers came in there.
Carolina, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weird thing is that Houston didn't preserve the Oiler name, which was kind of dumb because those are some dope-ass uniforms, and the Tennessee Titans occasionally bust out the old Houston threads. But they should have preserved the name, man.
24 years 24 years is not an excuse because your team made it to the AFC Championship game. So 24 years is not an excuse. Jacksonville went to the AFC Championship.
Yeah, that 24-year stuff isn't flying around here.
24 years is plenty of time to get to a championship game.
We've seen teams do it quick in various sports. Penny and Shaq, Orlando Magic, crossing over to the NBA for a second.
Yeah.
The Yankees didn't really start winning until year 25. I'll say that, but they did a lot of winning after that.
Yeah.
24 years. I don't know if that was good or bad for you because I think you lost sight of the fact that the Jacksonville Jaguars were 1 game away from the Super Bowl in their first their second year of existence. So,
and the only team that beat them that year was Tennessee. They beat them 3 times.
So we got 24-year-old franchise Buddy. And now my question to you is, are you 24 years old? Oh,
we in and out. Which team?
Okay.
Yeah.
Kendrick or Drake? You sound like a Drake fan.
Yeah, you sound like a Drake fan, man.
Respect.
Yeah, that's Drake stuff right there.
I mean, by all means, correct me. Maybe you like Scarface. Maybe I'm underestimating you. I don't know.
Yeah, but we do appreciate you coming to the show, man.
Absolutely, and it's all love here.
Yeah,
but appreciate you hanging.
It's all love, but yeah.
Zappy, what's on your brain, bro? I haven't seen you in a minute. Pretty soon I was gonna be like, is this guy still part of this? Like,
you might be on the show with Zappy in 2025. It's the first time.
See your face, man.
I know, right? Shoot. Hey, it's the calm before the storm, man. Gosh.
Yeah, fall season, man. Everybody comes out of the woodwork now. You know?
Zappy's been, Zappy's been.
Those
big,
Zappy at the game, man. Those some damn good ass shots, man.
Oh yeah.
I forgot Richie's not in the chat. We gotta get him in the chat.
Things you're boosting have been trash.
Oh, I was sending it to him too.
It's a what have you done for me lately league. A lot of things change very quickly in the NFL.
What are you talking about?
But what has Houston done?
Houston ain't done nothing.
They won the South, so apparently this guy thinks that we have to do a backflip on the show here because of that.
All right, I guess whenever you're a franchise that has never experienced winning the entire thing, whether in 24 years or not,
even getting it,
winning the division is the Super Bowl for you. I get it now.
You know what? Because with me, he said who? Oh, you like zero? Okay, I got you. I hear you.
All right.
Like zero.
Right.
But that wasn't a question though. It's a Draco Kendrick. That was a question. Anyway, like with me, even with my Giants, we suck. I don't care about the division. Because our best years, 2011, 2007, 2000 what? 2011.
We're the only team to win a Super Bowl in each of the previous 4 decades. This decade is in danger if we don't get our shit together, though.
Yeah. Real quick.
But in the division, I mean, my thing is get to the playoffs. It's a whole different game.
No question about it. And, the Chiefs were silent for 5 decades before their dynasty. And if you look at the heartbeat of a lot of dynasties in this league, whether it's the Cowboys, the Patriots, the Steelers, the Packers, prior to the dynasty years for all these franchises, 49ers are another one that I could put in there. These guys were not good at all. Right. The Patriots under Parcells, they had a taste of getting close, then they took them back quite a few steps back with Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll became a much better coach when he went collegiately and then came back to the league. It is very rare in this league that you get a third opportunity when you failed twice with the Jets and Patriots.
Yeah.
USC, he built up his resume, but I'm sorry, Notre Dame should have won that game.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, no. This guy, man, you're looking for a lot of validity, man. Bro, you made it to the divisional round.
Yeah.
The divisional round.
Divisional round, man.
CJ Stroud has never been further than Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones has never been further than CJ Stroud. We get it. You're the fastest kids in that division.
Yeah, we know.
But this division is not that good, bro.
Not that good, though.
It's the worst division.
How do you rank against the best teams in the conference?
When you got 2 teams that
better than KC, you better than Buffalo, you better than Baltimore. You beat the Chargers last year. I'll give you that. I had the Chargers winning that game. I'll give you that. You beat the Chargers last year. I don't think you're better than the Broncos.
Yeah, let's put it this way.
You're the best team.
You gonna say Zach?
I'm gonna say the second worst division in the league.
I'm gonna say they're the worst division.
Worse.
And if you rank the AFC team, if you got rid of divisions and it was just 16 team conferences, Houston would not be in the playoffs.
No.
Like, just to cut it that short, when I look at the West, the only team they might be ahead of is the Raiders. When I look at the East, I'll put them right there with the Patriots. Like, I think the Patriots and Houston are right there neck and neck.
Truthfully, I have the Patriots. I'm going to give you a little spoiler here. More than likely, I'm picking the Patriots to finish second in the AFC East this year.
I think most people are.
A distance.
Yeah, I know. I think most people are, but just because you're winning the AFC South does not mean you're one of the best teams. It's been
like, I think Tampa's a pretty good football team that plays in a shitty division, but Tampa has won my respect with the way that they play in the playoffs over previous years. Like, even going back to the Brady era, that division was shit.
Yeah, they beat who they have to beat.
But they took care of business when it counted. And Baker Mayfield, truthfully, they have not lost a lot from an aging Tom Brady to a younger Baker Mayfield. And
what do we sound bitter about? Hold on, yesterday we talking about this past season. We talking about
we're not bitter at all. We just think
I'm talking about right now.
We just think you're looking for a little more validation.
I mean, my team.
That's all we're getting at. Because we don't hang banners for division titles in our buildings.
We don't do that. And
they don't do it in Dallas, and they don't really do it. They talk about it because Dallas has the most Eastern Division titles.
Championships. So we're not bitter about the past.
We're worried about divisional banners in the Meadowlands, bro. That's all we're trying to say.
We don't do that. They don't do it.
I'm not saying.
And I'm not
giving. Hey,
you talking about bitter? Bitter about what?
Bitter with who? Show me your Lombardi.
So they won. What they win? They won a division. They won a playoff game.
If you want to annoy me, talk about the Astros and the Rockets a little. Texans ain't won shit yet.
H-Town, but what are we drinking delusion? You ain't said nothing that we delusion about. Houston won a playoff game. And? You won a playoff game. You won a division. They won a bad division. I give them their props because C.J. Stroud did what he had to do. And
I think the world of DeMeco Ryans. As a player, as a man, as a coach, I got much respect for DeMeco Ryans.
I like C.J. Stroud. I love me some Nick Chubb because I wanted them to draft him. I love Nick Chubb. So I don't hate Houston, but I don't hate Houston at all, to be honest with you. But I do.
And you do realize that two of the three of us did pick your team to win the division, right?
We did.
You realize that, right?
You probably don't realize that. We did pick the team. What had they done? You mean the past 2 seasons? Because remember the season before they got C.J. Stroud, they didn't do anything. They were like 4.
I thought we were talking about the present.
Yeah,
hold on. I thought we were talking about the present.
Yeah, so we're talking about the present when it's convenient.
It's convenient to you. See, you don't realize, H-Town, even last year, we picked Houston to win. And even this year, we're picking Houston again. So there's no hate. But what I do find about you guys from Houston, y'all always swear y'all like I go into it about hip hop with you guys from Houston because y'all act like y'all did everything, but y'all didn't. Y'all got some dope rappers, but y'all didn't innovate hip hop because y'all beats came from boom bap originally. Go ask your boy Scarface about that. Boom bap got him started. We got a new season, like you said. We're talking now. We got a new season. Well,
Giants, Jags, and Colts are now
bottom feeders, but they can't be bottom feeders because bottom feeders is bottom feeders.
H-Town, the Colts had a winning record last year, bro.
Didn't they beat Houston last year one time too?
They had a winning record last year.
They had a winning record last year. What are
you guys were one game better than the Colts last year, and you're calling them bottom feeders. So what does that say about you guys?
So
you were one game better.
You don't even know what's going on yourself. And you talk about the past, we talk about future. It's a whole different season. And see, we're not sitting up here talking about the Giants or Giants. We know the Giants are bad. And we're gonna talk about the NFC.
Definitely under construction.
We already know that. But see, that's the thing. We're not you could say we're drinking delusion of juice, but none of us has said that our teams are doing this.
Yeah. Zappy has said multiple times on the air as well as off the air that the Cowboys could be a 7-win team or an 11-win team, and the difference could really come down to less than 10 plays.
Yeah, and we said ourselves the Giants are not going to be a winning team. So what delusion do we being you're one being delusional because like I said, your team finished one game ahead of the Colts, and the Colts barely.
I don't know if he's delusional or not, but what I do know is that he didn't answer me if they're going to beat the Chiefs, Buffalo, Baltimore, or Denver. I didn't hear him.
Yeah, did you look at your schedule this year?
Shoot, at Cincinnati, at Pittsburgh, at Cincinnati to that.
Yeah, and they got the AFC West and the NFC West. They got 2 teams that might be 4 deep.
If anything, I thought I was being quite generous saying that they're a fringe 12-win team, 11-6.
Because you got 8 teams that can beat you. That can beat you on any given. You got 8 teams, the AFC West and the NFC West. Then you got Pittsburgh, you got Cincinnati. And as long as they got Joe Burrow up in Cincinnati, they're going to be a hard team to beat.
Yeah, the biggest thing with Cincinnati over the course of particularly last year.
Yeah, you might want to look at the schedule before you.
Atrocious because Joe Burrow was having an MVP caliber season.
Yeah, you might want to look at you might want to. You bugging, dude. I got so many homies from Houston.
Country rap.
Where do you think that came from, homie? It came from hip hop.
What is this man talking about?
What are you talking about? It came from hip hop, homie. Maybe you might need to do your history. We're gonna have a hip hop show. It came from hip hop.
What is this man talking about?
Rap, you can call it drill rap, you can call it trap rap, you call it whatever you want to call it. It came from hip hop. It's just another branch, homie. Just like hip hop came from rock and roll, soul, funk, and all that. They all got in the room together, had a baby, and the baby was hip hop. Shoot. I give you a lesson, homie.
Zappy,
I give you a hip hop lesson, homie. I got mad homies from
Houston. Anything else on the brain as
here's my question. Does Travis Hunter become the first player in NFL history to win offensive and defensive rookie of the year?
No.
Oh, no.
I don't have a lot of faith in him in terms of his development of the route tree. However, I do think that at his peak ceiling, he could mirror some of the best cover corners in the league.
Look at this dude. He said Houston don't do hip hop. You done lost your mind. You got to be about 20 years old. No, that's what you listen to. That's what you listen to, country rap tunes. That's what you listen to. You don't represent the whole Houston, homie. You don't even seem like you're over 30 years old.
I'm curious about that myself. But
yeah, anyway. I think Travis Hunter I think they're gonna go after him.
When he didn't acknowledge that the Jaguars were in the AFC title game in their second year of existence, I think that was an age indicator.
He didn't mention that. They were 13-3. Only team to beat them that year was Tennessee.
Yeah, 3 freaking times.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't forget about the Patriots beating them.
Like, he got me saying the N-word. He talking about country rap too. Let's get off the show. Let's close the show.
What else we got here? Y'all rap about typical things and we rap about life.
What? Y'all rap about killing people. What are you talking about? We rap about life. Typical. Who is this dude?
Oh, I'm having fun with this. I am having fun with this. Zappy,
life.
Zappy,
drive-bys with each other. What are you talking about?
Zappy, we're putting together group invites for Beast of the East later. That's going to be our final divisional preview. Shouts out NFC Beast, one of the best groups out there. So Zappy, Idris, we're going to be having a big panel on that one. You know, a lot of our friends on
let's get one thing straight. I'm gonna correct you. It's not one of the best. It is the best one.
Yeah.
Oh, no question. Yeah. I love that.
I think the reason
in that group, the humor
in that, and I think the reason why it's the best one is shout out to guys like Keith and them who they weed the garbage. You know, it's like we keep it football. And
hey, Sean, but you know the thing about it, we don't really care because you know what? It's crazy how you say that because rappers like Rakim, Wu-Tang Clan, Nas, all the OG New York rappers, guess who the ones are hotter? They're the ones hot. I give you prop on DJ Screw. Much respect to DJ Screw. But see, you know what? DJ Screw, he dealt with New York rappers. You probably too young, didn't realize that, but DJ Screw, he was cool with New York MCs and stuff and DJs. He helped up with Pete Rock. Pete Rock's from the Bronx. You didn't know that. You're probably young. Anyway, Yeah, get back.
We're not talking about the past.
No, we're not talking about the past. Nah.
Nah.
D. Screw been dead like 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. This guy got to be about 15 years old, man.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Some of the stuff, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he said he'll listen to dude. Hey, look. Up until like last year, I was going to San Antonio 2 or 3 times here, and I always stopped in Houston. And guess what they were playing? Hip hop. Hip hop.
What? Who's your favorite rapper?
Who, me?
No, not you.
Oh, him? I don't know.
H-Town, yeah.
I don't know. He said Zero. Some people call him Zero, Z-R-O.
Oh, okay.
He's good though. I like him. He's good.
Zap, who's your all-time favorite rapper? I never asked you that.
He's a Drake friend.
Not
Zapping on this guy H-Town. He likes Drake.
Zappy, who's your all-time favorite?
My all-time favorite?
Or if you had to throw together, like, off the top of your head, improv top 5 to 10. I'm just curious. I don't think I've ever asked you that.
For me, like Nas, I love Nas. I could sit back, listen to him all night. Locksmith is another one of my favorites. You know, I think I listened more to. I'm trying to think of who I would listen to a lot. Obviously, you got to give props to guys like Jay-Z and Kendrick and stuff. Pac was something that I always had on my radio growing up.
I think Tupac, you know, the best way to put it for him, you know, big influence when I was coming up, as was this guy, the Notorious B.I.G. But truthfully, Pac was genuinely a poet, a guy who could really get in your soul on that level. And I think that's his impact. I'm not going to sit here and say he's the best lyricist, the best rapper, because I don't view him as such, but an all-time legend and just a multiverse of talent.
Lyricist.
Yeah, multiverse of talent and you know, between activism, acting, and the impact that he had in hip-hop in only 5 short years when you consider his beginnings.
Well, he did get
absolutely,
that.
Absolutely.
Cool.
He got that.
Okay, well,
H-Town's
thank
on.
God.
All right,
Yeah,
H-Town's cool.
Right.
He's not 15.
Yeah, he's 15.
But in no particular order, my 10 favorite rappers off the top of my head.
We need to have a hip-hop show,
Big
dude.
Pun, Big L, Tupac Shakur, Lupe Fiasco. Yeah, you know, he got dicked around with his label, but truly one of my all-time favorites, especially for guys that have been around less than 20 years or so.
Hey, hold on. He just contradicted himself. You say y'all talk about life, but you saying West Coast rap. West Coast rap was about killing, drive-bys and stuff.
Also, thank you for mentioning that. Also happen to be an Ice Cube fan. Definitely a fan of Corrupt.
Oh,
not a big fan of that informant Snoop Dogg though.
I loved Easy. Rest in peace. And I was a huge fan. I was a huge fan of Bone.
You know what?
And I'm still a huge fan of Bone.
I didn't like.
If we're talking groups, Bone Thugs, Tribe Called Quest, Camp Low was nice, but once again they got screwed over with their record label.
You know what? I didn't like Easy, but I liked Easy for some reason. It was just something about
because he was real.
Yeah, I think that's because his rap style was because he wasn't a rapper, but they made him.
You know, he had writers and such. But the thing with Easy, he was just so damn believable.
That's what it was. I think that's because he was the real thing.
When he was beefing with Death Row, Dre and Snoop particularly.
Yeah.
And when you see the video and the authenticity of that video, if you were on the receiving end of that, I don't give a damn how tough you are. You definitely were concerned.
Yeah, no doubt. But we need.
Dude, he's got one of the best diss songs, man. Like
absolutely. Everybody talks about No Vaseline, and people talk about Hit 'Em Up. People talk about The Ripper Strikes Back. A lot of different diss songs or diss comebacks. And I'm sorry, Real Motherfucking G's, an all-time classic.
I like 100 miles and running. If I see any gun, I have you marching 100 miles and running. We need to have a hip hop show, man.
No doubt.
H-Town won't be there because he don't like hip hop, so he won't.
But H-Town, check out the Jack Harlow episode. You got to dig a little into the catalog. But if you want to check it out, we had a pretty cool hip hop show. honestly, about 2 years ago. If you're willing to go back that far, because I know that you're not about the past, but definitely give it a look, though.
Yeah.
But
I
shouts
got
out to
one.
you, H-Town. Thanks for hanging with us. Zappy, good to have you back. And we got to do some talking maybe within the hour, planning
I'm
out
gonna
some
have
of
you
our
guys.
stuff.
I'm gonna give you guys one opportunity, and H-Town one opportunity right here. So, because we have we're just talking about Houston rap and East Coast rap, West Coast rap, whatever the case may be, gentlemen. What do your Yankees need to do to avoid losing this series this weekend to the Astros? And H-Town, what do your Astros need to do to ensure your lead in the West does not continue to go away from Seattle? Because Seattle is creeping fast.
I'm going to speak on the Astros' behalf for a second. I want to say that although I hate that organization, I respect what they have endured in terms of the mass injuries to that roster. They are well coached. They play baseball the right way, and they lose the right way. And what I mean by lose the right way, they're not losing because of terrible errors. They're not losing because of shit at bats or poor base running. So I will say the Houston Astros, even when undermanned, are definitely a force. As the New York Yankees go, it's not that complicated. You have to tighten up the simplicities of the game. Baseball is only as complicated as you make it.
Yeah.
Take better at bats. Be cognizant of what's going on around you, like that Jazz Chisholm fuckery that went down in Miami the other day. That was inexcusable.
That guy gets on my nerves, man. He's good play. He gets on my nerves, man.
So do you guys win the series this weekend or lose the series?
Is this a 4-game or a 3-gamer?
It's a 3-game because tomorrow's your rest day.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the Yankees take 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I say the same. I think we'll get 2 out of 3.
We often look for that one game that you're like, when are they going to turn it around? Last year it was that Baltimore series. Yeah. After that horrendous July that the Yankees had last year.
They're like the Mets.
The Yankees have a lot of issues, but when you bring in all these new pitchers, you got to figure out what frame makes sense for everybody. And I think at this juncture of the season, they have come to the conclusion that Devin Williams is just not that guy in the ninth.
Right.
Can it be Bednar with Weaver setting him up?
Yeah.
It's got to be Bednar. It's got to be Bednar. Honestly, you brought in Bednar to be your closer. Astros.
I acknowledge that, H-Town.
Yeah.
Your team has overcome a lot this year.
I agree. It's in my opinion, with the Yankees, I think Bednar has to be your closer moving forward. I really think that, and I think what you guys need to figure out is Aaron Boone's got to quit out coaching himself for one. Which will he know? Because this is the Yankee team I was kind of expecting all along.
He did a terrific job today, pulling the trigger. And, baseball is a very instinctive game. I understand that analytics are used in every clubhouse on different levels. But sometimes you just got to grab your manhood and be like, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, because I think Boston's going to end up winning this division, honestly.
You said it at the beginning of the season, Zappy. As did friend of the show, Steven Ridlon. By the way, Rids is going to be joining us for the AFC East preview.
Word.
Patriot fan.
Word. Yeah, I think I was the only one on this panel that was very high on Boston this year.
Yeah, because I was like they're going to finish like in 4th.
No, and they're my World Series pick in the American League.
I'm still going with the Brew Crew in the National League.
I don't share your sentiments there. As of right now, and this could change constantly. This could constantly change. I'm going with a 93 rematch as of right now.
Yeah.
The Toronto Blue Jays will defeat the Philadelphia Phillies again. And I am a diehard Yankee fan, just being as unbiased as I could possibly be.
Yeah.
And Don Mattingly gets a ring.
Right. Brew Crew, though.
I would not be the least bit upset if the Brew Crew get there. I would not be the least bit upset if Texas gets there. I have no bad for the Texas Rangers. None at all.
It ain't Detroit.
No one wants to see. The AL does not want to see Texas in the playoffs. The way
Texas is a very
pitching
dangerous team. But
Yeah.
the big caveat to that, Zappy, is Bruce Bochy's phenomenal playoff acumen. That man wins when he gets in there. The man is solid in the playoffs. Bottom line, the most successful manager since Joe Torre in MLB.
Yeah, one of the greatest, hands down.
Absolutely. Both 4-time World Series winning managers, the two of them.
Hey, you know what? I gotta send a shout out to Dorney and his boy, y'all's former boy Juan Soto today. Gavin, meanwhile, Devin Williams has not been doing good for the Yankees. Gavin Williams today was 2 outs away from pitching a no-hitter, and Juan Soto said, "No, I'll go ahead and change that real quick," and blasted one. And he pitched a whole game, but it sucks. I like seeing those no-hitters. Just like last night with Uvalde, I'm like, this guy is that close to pitching a complete game, and then when Brownie gets that hit.
We had a little bit of success against him in the previous 2 times he played us. But if you look historically at Nathan Eovaldi against the New York Yankees, whether it was a member of the Rays, the Red Sox, or now the Texas Rangers, he's been good. We lit him up more recently the previous time, and I think the time before that, but Eovaldi has been damn good against the Yankees.
He's hands down. He's 45 pitched innings away from being the American League Cy Young.
It could happen, and that's a hell of a trio between Big Jacob deGrom, Eovaldi, and now Merrill Kelly. That is a 3-headed monster that could do something in the playoffs should you guys get it.
I'm glad deGrom has recovered. deGrom, I mean, he wasted a lot of years with the Mets, man.
It was horrible.
He was horrible. He was out there.
The lack of run support, the constant injuries. That guy pitched his heart out for that organization.
13 and 12.
If anybody deserved a freebie championship, it was that guy.
Yeah, I mean, he was 13 and 12, but when you look at his 13 and 12 mark when that, I think it was his final season, full season with the Mets, most of those losses was not even on him. It was like, this guy pitched lights out. And he was hurt when Texas won, but I think he earned that.
Gentlemen, I'll be back in just a moment. If you guys decide to wrap it, by all means. If you're still here when I come back, great. I got to go stretch it out for a minute. I've been sitting in this.
Let's wrap it up because I got to call you.
About 90. No, I'm in no rush. I'm enjoying this conversation.
Yeah, I got to call you anyway. So.
All right, gentlemen.
That's a rare picture of Devin Williams hugging it out after a save. You don't see that too often.
But we'll all chat up. We're out, y'all.
Have a great night, everyone. Thanks for hanging.
Peace. And I may trip in a few, Rich.
Yes, sir.